Thanks guys so much for being here.
Legends.
We're on our way right now.
How's the signal and how's the audio, guys? Tell everyone where we're going, Lisa.
Yeah, so we're on our way right now to location. Oh wow, it stinks.
Oh, it smells even from here now.
Oh, we just passed a truck that had come out of this location. Oh my gosh, it stinks. We're not even close to it yet. Oh, so yeah, this is what we're doing today. Obviously, outside of another slaughterhouse, showing the world the realities that people don't understand, people don't know. The industry's lying to you, it's not okay. We're annoyed at the industry, not the public. It's not your fault that you don't know. So we're gonna show you, we're gonna help educate, because for 26 years of my life, I paid for something that I'm so against. I paid for something that breaks my heart. I paid for something because of indoctrination, brainwashing, propaganda, adverts, radio, storybooks. And to be honest, I'm pissed off. I'm annoyed. Because if I ever had a choice, if I ever knew the industries, no chance would I have ever paid for this. No chance. So yeah, where we're going today, slaughterhouse for mothers from the dairy industry, babies from the dairy industry, and cows from the beef industry. Even though we're at a slaughterhouse that bring those animals in here, we are against all forms of oppression towards animals, whether that's animal testing, animal use in any way, breeding animals, zoos, horse racing, greyhound racing, meat, eggs, dairy, fish, leather, wool, trainers made out of leather, sofas made out of someone's skin.
Man, it smells so bad here today.
The world will change. In fact, it's changing already. If anyone saw our last thing that happened, let me just see what's there. Okay, so there is a truck there, there's a camera. All right, I'm just gonna stand here already. I'm not sure if you can see animals on there or not, maybe keep an eye. So the red truck behind me is a truck that brought in these animals today to a slaughterhouse. Behind me, something awful is happening behind these gates right now. Behind these gates, there are the most sweetest, innocent individuals who were forced into existence, who were put inside of a cattle crush, who had a farmer force his arm inside of her and make her pregnant, who've had their babies ripped away from them over and over and over. They've had their milk stolen, their children stolen, and now they're having their life stolen inside this place today. Like my sign says, this is a slaughterhouse. This is a slaughterhouse, a place of evil, a place that takes away the most innocent lives. And these places should never, ever, ever have existed. They shouldn't exist today, and they shouldn't have ever been made. I'm always so confused how anyone could have made a place of hell. Most people walk around saying that they're good people. They're kind, must preach kindness, must be nice to one another. The golden rule, treat someone how you would like to be treated. But you're not holding that up when the animals are going in here. These people know what they're doing, okay? We hold them to account differently to you guys on the live stream who aren't vegan yet. Because for 26 years, I wasn't vegan, and for 36 years, Steve wasn't vegan, who's behind the camera right now. We saw an incredible activist called Joey Carbstrong. Go and follow him on social media right now. He made videos showing people what happens to animals. He debated the public, educated the public. He does incredible investigations. He shows people the truth. I'm so grateful that we stumbled across his video accidentally on YouTube. And it was like he had taken a blindfold off my head. It was like I suddenly was like, I don't know, like reborn. From always thinking that I had to eat animals and cow's milk was made for humans because they eat grass, and I had to eat eggs, and I wore leather shoes, and I sat on, I don't know, maybe a sofa made of leather. I didn't question it. He took that blindfold off. We both went vegan on the spot. In fact, we saw inside one of these places. We saw a mother cow from the dairy industry having her throat slashed. And it's the worst thing I'd ever seen up until that point. It broke our hearts. It broke our hearts. We both went vegan, and now we're fighting for the animals. Guys, thank you for being in the live stream. Let's see who is here. Put a number 1 in the chat for those epic vegans. 1 if you are vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you are open-minded and open to listening, but you're not vegan yet. And number 3 in the chat if you do not care about anyone else whatsoever. Let's see who's in the room. Steve, maybe let me know who's in the room.
We got a load of awesome vegans in the room. We also have got people who are saying things like, the worst thing you've ever seen, go to a war-torn country. In other words, saying war-torn countries are worse than what's happening to the animals behind us here today.
Yeah,
Someone's saying there's no such thing as a vegan. Eating a steak now, juicy steak. Lots of trolls in here.
Yeah.
I wonder if them trolls were to actually come here, if they would still continue to troll in the face of this adversity, if they was to actually see with their own eyes the animals going in, the smell that we can smell right now. I describe the smell. Like, what do you think? How would you describe this smell?
Stinks. It's heavy. It's sticky. It's disgusting. It like sometimes, like when that gate opens, sometimes we like gag. Sometimes we almost throw up. It's disgusting. You're smelling the insides of someone else. You're smelling the blood and the guts. The same blood and guts that you have as well. So when you come onto these live streams thinking you're clever, saying, oh, I'm eating steak or whatever, like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to prove? We used to eat animals as well. We used to go to zoos. I swam with dolphins. I touched a tiger for my birthday because they were my favorite animal and that was my dream. I went to Dreamworld in Australia. My mum booked for my birthday and we got to touch a tiger. But that was my dream. I didn't understand the exploitation. I just loved animals. I wanted to be around animals and I loved them. And I didn't understand or even have the brain. What's up?
Mike's clipping ever so slightly.
I'll move it down a bit. Yeah, I had like an innocent brain and I thought how, like, I didn't even think anyone could be horrible to animals. Is that better?
Yeah. Let me see if I can clip it on for you. Okay guys, anyone who wants to screen record right now. I do believe we've just seen a truck. We have an advantage here because the security have not come out to put the gate on manual, so we may be able to see. This truck here, guys, will have victims on there. These victims will be coming inside here today to die. Now I'm going to try and get the camera up over the top so you can see. Nah, it's too high. It's too high.
I'm over, I can get it.
We love you, babies. We're sorry.
We're
so sorry.
We're trying so hard.
So sorry.
I'm so sorry. That was really high.
And that truck was so high. I don't know how I defied gravity to get that
Show
up
everyone
there.
the slaughterhouse, see what's coming out. Mind that truck.
Here's an empty, what I would call slave truck leaving. Shame on you. Shame on you for driving babies to their deaths.
Steve, I can see inside.
This truck would have been full of
I can see
animals
inside the slaughterhouse, Steve.
with a desire to live.
Steve!
Now look, now they're scrambling.
Steve,
now
the cow, I
because...
can see the cows.
Huh?
The cows are there, I can see them in the lairage.
These
The ones that
animals
just
here.
got dropped off.
Now they quickly rushed to get the gate on manual.
So in that truck is really young beef cows and mother dairy cows. I'll show you this. I think if you zoom a bit, I think that's how we worked out. That's who's in that truck.
Oh, babies again. Go back. Can you go back a little bit on there?
I go back in, I think. Oh, yeah, I'll go back. So they're really caught off guard today here.
They look really young. The brown ones look really young.
Yeah, if everyone was vegan, how would that work? That would work, meaning everyone wouldn't be hurting animals. The world would be amazing.
If everyone was against racism, how would that work? If everyone was against sexism, how would that work? If everyone was against ableism, how would that work?
Yeah.
Just-
Those poor victims going in right now.
Just look at the screen and see these individuals who are being brought in here to die. That individual, the brown cow at the back, looking up towards the camera, they've noticed the camera. This is their last moments today. Like, they're going to be dead before lunchtime today. This is their life being taken from them. To me, when they look up into the camera, it's no different to the way that a puppy would look up to us, a cat, any other animal would look up with that look of hope in their eyes. Now, why, because they're cows, do we believe that it's okay to send them into this place of hell to have their lives taken just because of the species that they were born into? What a ridiculous, like, weak excuse.
Let's jump on this because we can see.
Yeah. Let's get it up. Guys, we're going to try and capture them being taken off. We're just going to get our little platform here to stand on. Jump up there and I'll pass up.
Oh.
You got the zoom one here too, don't forget.
Okay,
You got it all
if
right?
you take, I'm not going to be able to see. If you hold my phone
Yeah. Oh, sorry, your phone.
and have a look at our live so I can see where to point the camera.
Yeah, I got it.
Do you know how to do it?
Yeah.
Yes. At the top. I'm just going to zoom in
Okay,
quick, guys.
zoom in. Okay, yeah, that's good. You got any other zoom on there?
Do you want me to zoom more?
Yeah, zoom all the way in.
Okay. Guys, please double tap that screen. Put hearts in the comments for the animals.
All right,
I try and stay steady. I'm sorry, I can't see.
here we go. There. It's got a little delay on here. Okay, to the right a little bit. There you go. Now you got the individuals in the lateral left a little bit.
I have
You got
just
it?
a
You got
delay,
it?
yeah.
Cool. Okay, guys, so what you're about to witness right now, you're about to witness the cows that are on that big silver truck be offloaded into what's called the layerage. If you look at the back of that truck, you'll see the cows looking out. You see her white nose, or his white nose, just looking out of that layerage. This is like a waiting room of hell. This is where they wait to die. They're held here until the kill floor are ready to walk them through to the kill floor, to bolt gun them in the head and stab them in the throat and then cut their heads off. They'll be shackled by one leg, held up in the air while the blood pumps out of their neck.
Hi.
This is the reality of what happens here. Now, if you're against any of this, then go to the description in this live stream and click on the link tree and go and watch Dominion.
Thank you. Yeah, is that truck just coming? I moved, sorry guys.
No, you're fine, you got it. That's it. Look at the baby's eyes. Look at this little baby here. Looking out of that sort of grated area at the back.
Oh.
This
Guys.
is her last look, or his last look. People saying this is part of life. The only reason why this is part of life is because at the moment the system dictates this violence. The reason why they're in there today, they're going to have their lives taken today, the reason why they're in there is because of supply and demand. Every single time you buy their body parts or their secretions, every single time you put their skin on as a fashion item, every single time you buy a product that was tested on their eyes, on their body, with their blood, you are funding the system. You are paying for the next individual to go in, to be forced into the system to die. Now, if you're against that, the simple thing that you do is to go vegan. You remove your support for this violence and you go vegan. It's a non-action.
Why is the dairy industry bad, Steve?
Pardon?
Why is the dairy industry bad, Steve?
So the dairy industry is smoke and mirrors, right? The dairy industry, you are led to believe as a consumer that the dairy industry is just a byproduct. Cows just produce milk. And in fact, if we didn't take the milk from them and use the milk, then it would just go to waste. The reality is the dairy industry is a standalone industry. Dairy cows are a different breed of cows to cows exploited for their bodies. Dairy cows have pregnancies forced upon them. They have farmers put their hand inside the cow's anus and hold her cervix whilst they inject her with bull semen to force the pregnancy. When her baby is born in 9 months' time, she doesn't get the maternity ward that humans do. She doesn't get her baby wrapped up in a nice cloth, cleaned, and given to her in her arms for her to cuddle, to nurture, to love, to bond, to show that maternal bond, to hold her baby in her arms or hold her baby close to her and say, it's okay. I know the world is big and scary. I know that you're brand new, but I'm your mum and it's okay because I have you and I'm going to defend you and I'm going to look after you. She doesn't get that opportunity like humans do. What happens to her is as soon as her baby is born, she gets to spend minutes licking her baby, forming that bond. Within a fraction of the time, the farmer comes and the farmer removes the baby from her. He steals her baby. Cows have been seen running after their babies, chasing the farmers because they have the maternal bond. How, I don't know, is it a superiority complex, or how ignorant are we? Or like, how evil are we to believe that we're the only species that has a maternal bond with babies?
Stinks so much, just smells
That's
like
it,
blood.
you can unload it. Now, they chase the farmers and they try and catch their babies, they try and defend their babies, but for them, it's hopeless. They will never be able to defend their babies because the farmer will inevitably win and steal them. Now, if the babies are born male, they are now considered a waste product. They are killed. They're killed for veal, they're just killed and discarded like they don't mean anything, they don't matter. Same as the male chicks in the egg industry. If they're born female, they're added on into the isolation hutch system where they will then go and be exploited the minute that they're sexually mature enough. The dairy industry is evil.
This right now, you're witnessing a slaughterhouse truck that has arrived at a slaughterhouse, and those are mothers from the dairy industry. They're going in there because they are no longer profitable to the farmer. They likely will be around 4 to 5 years old. That's the average age. They kill them. They should live around 27 years. They're going into this place now. They're being forced into this place, and they're going to go into a knockbox. Inside the knockbox, they're going to have a bolt gun on their head, which will shoot into their skull. This immobilizes them, not for the animal's sake, but for the safety of the workers, because cows are extremely strong animals. If you come at a cow with a knife, they know, they try and fight and defend themselves. So the bolt gun is for the workers, not the animals. The animals feel everything. Like you see in every undercover investigation that's done, it's horrific. They'll have a knife in their throat. I've seen workers slashing throats with knives. The animals still conscious. We've got David, an ex-slaughterhouse inspector, in the room right now. He said he's seen a cow, a pregnant cow, having her baby cut out of her while she's hung up on the kill line, whilst her skin's being taken off her face, screaming. And
that animal aid investigation we were reading about the other day, where that mother ewe was slaughtered whilst her babies were still feeding off of her.
It's so sad. Those sheep were hiding behind like the equipment because they were so afraid. It's so sad. It's so heartbreaking. Now, it's not your fault if you don't know. So you can only move forward from now. Now that you do know, how many more animals will you send to slaughter for you or to be used and commodified until you are vegan?
Yeah.
Vegan is someone who is against the oppression, use, and exploitation of animals.
Strange, right? You'd think that we're supposed to be a nation of animal lovers. If you was to go into any major city in the UK with a questionnaire, and if on that questionnaire the question said, "Do you consider yourself an animal lover?"
I need to just keep my eyes on the screen. Thanks.
Do you consider yourself an animal lover? I think it would be an overwhelming yes. I think it will be probably over 95% of people in the UK, I believe, would class themselves as an animal lover.
Yeah.
Yet, why, when you say, what about cows and pigs and chicken and sheep and fish, do people become animal oppressors? Why do they become animal exploiters? How can you say that you're an animal lover the whole time that you're sending animals to slaughterhouses? Now, it may be the fact that you're in that mid sort of section where you class yourself as an animal lover, but you still have the indoctrination and the conditioning that was put upon you when you were a child. And for that, you can never be held responsible because it's not your fault right now. You've probably never even seen this. You don't know. But the real problem lies is when you do know. Because when you do know and you have seen the truth, well, now you are accountable. Now you can be held accountable. Now you are knowingly doing this to these animals.
So I just want to explain what's happening here. So the truck has now finished unloaded those poor animals. I've just moved it back. And you can see where the animals went. They've now shut this area because we're here. So they don't want to be transparent. They don't want you to see anything. Okay, so that's what's happening. He's now going to clean the truck and he will leave. Heartbreaking. I hate being here. I hate knowing what's happening to these animals.
Show everyone this, Lissa.
Yeah, so on the floor here, this is their feces. Where animals are so afraid when they come into these places, they know. Cows can smell up to 5 miles away. They're not silly animals. Now, their autonomic nervous system comes into play, which means when you're afraid, you go into flight mode. That means your body gets rid of any excess things that you don't need to fight. Is that my camera? Thank you. So you can help evade and escape these dangerous situations. So that's why you see a lot of like poo and wee on the floors outside slaughterhouses from those scared animals.
Yeah. Guys, anyone joining this live stream, we're outside of a slaughterhouse right now in the UK. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. We go live at these places all the time. Please, in the chat room right now, put 1 if you're vegan. Put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you are open to the conversation. And put 3 or double tap the screen if you are an animal exploiter, if you believe that animals don't matter, if you only morally consider some animals like dogs, cats, dolphins, horses, but you won't morally consider chickens, cows, pigs, sheep, lambs. We're here today as well, by the way, not to clash with non-vegans. Our objective here isn't to come here, put a camera up and say, look at us, we're better than you because we don't pay for this evil.
Yeah.
The objective of us being here today is to come here, put a camera up and let these animals be seen by the world. These animals are the victims. The animals being brought here are the ones who need to be seen. Their plight needs to be seen. What's happening to them needs to be seen. We're here to come alongside you and to explain to you the industry have never told you the truth. Because if the industry told you the truth, you'd remove your support for the industry immediately if you are a good person, if you have empathy, if you have a heart.
A lot of 1s and a lot of 3s. Some people put 4 for whatever reason. But Lily Loader's number 2. Thank you for being here. We've also got Jason in the room, Martin's in the room.
Hey guys, thanks for being here,
Owen's
guys.
in the room. Real Meebo's in the room. Thank you for being here, guys. Vegan Christianity's in the room. Someone put, do you drink milk?
No, the only milk I drink is oat milk. Sometimes soy milk, but mainly oat milk. The reason why I don't drink cow's milk is for the exact reason why I'm stood here today. The cows being took inside this slaughterhouse today are being taken in here to be killed because of the dairy industry.
Do you mean to take that?
No, it's fine because the truck comes.
Okay, cool, yeah.
The cows that are going inside here today are going inside here because of the dairy industry. The dairy industry is a standalone industry. For that reason, I'm against it because it exploits animals. Any industry that exploits animals should be ended. We should never have an option to exploit them in the first place. So thanks for your question. And
Yeah.
if you're not sure as to why, if this is kind of like making you think about it, go to the 3 dots in the top right-hand side of this live stream, click on the link in the link tree, and go to Dominion. And go and watch Dominion and see exactly what happens inside these places.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised.
Because unless you see it, you won't understand.
No.
Your mind can't make up something that, like the industry is terrible. That your
No.
mind can't go there because it's too innocent. Someone
man.
just put, I totally respect vegans. We eat too much meat in our diets. Maybe we'll explain what vegan means.
Okay, yeah, so a vegan, first of all, isn't a diet. Well, first of all, thanks for your comment.
Yes.
Thanks for your comment. Second of all, veganism is not a diet. Vegan is an ethical position against exploiting animals. So, for example, if I was plant-based, I would make a plant-based meal and I would go to the zoo. And then I'd say that I'm a plant-based person because I consider my plant-based diet, but I'm still going to take that plant-based diet and go to the zoo where animals are exploited. Or I'm going to go to the shop in my leather jacket and I'm going to buy my plant-based food wearing my leather jacket, which was the skin of an animal who didn't want to die. Skins of animals, shoes made of animals, fur, all of these objects, well, they're turned into objects, are results of exploitation. Now, because vegans are against that, vegans would abstain away from any of them things. Now, when I respect vegans, often that comes with a caveat of, I respect vegans, so you should respect my position as a non-vegan, which we would never take. And no other injustice would ever accept that standpoint. Imagine if I said, listen, I respect the way that you traffic children, but, you know, I respect the fact that you don't want to traffic children, but because I respect you not wanting to do it, I therefore demand you respect that I want to do it. Or I respect the fact that you're against racism, but you now must respect my racist standpoints because I respect you. This isn't about respect between me and you. This is about the individuals that are inside that building right there having their necks slashed open, their lives taken, their bodies taken, their babies taken. So the respect part, you know.
But it's not their fault, like that they don't understand what it means because until you come across it,
and the third part of that, if you believe that we should reduce, is that because you've seen this as an injustice? Because if you've seen that it's an injustice, then why would we ever take the position of reducing when we could stop? Again, we'd never take that position on anything else. If I said to you, I'm going to reduce the days I'm racist, I'm going to reduce the amount of whatever ism I'm part of, you'd say, Steve, if you've identified that as an unethical and immoral act, then you don't reduce it, you stop it. Because for every victim you have with that mindset, it matters to that individual, right?
Yeah, well said, well said. Someone said nice tattoos, shame the ink isn't vegan.
They are vegan. They are vegan. All my tattoos are vegan. These are animal rights tattoos. 269 is an animal rights movement. I have a pig in a gas chamber. Anyone watching right now, did you know that pigs are gassed in the UK? I think it's over 88% of piglets. I'll say piglets to be specific because they're 6 months old when they get sent to this gas chamber. The sows get electrocuted and stabbed. Sometimes they're gassed on their own, by the way. They use CO2 gas. So this is a pig in a gas, waiting to be gassed in a gas chamber. I have vegan on my head. So yeah, and I have my cows. I have cows tattooed on my hand here that I took pictures of before they went into a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, someone put, holy, never thought of it that way. Yeah.
Thank you for that comment. Thank you for the comment. And also, that is a really brave comment and it's a really honest comment. I really appreciate that comment by saying, wow, I've never thought of it that way. That's really like a powerful statement.
Honest.
It says that you could be open to the fact that either you're wrong or you've not thought about it and therefore you're willing to listen. like I said earlier, none of us are judging you. Vegans don't want to judge non-vegans. What would be the point? If we came across and just judged you, and if we came and caused a clash, how does it help them? How does it help them? They're the victims. This is where the focus needs to be on them.
Yeah.
So we want to come alongside you. This is a really good opportunity for you to ask questions. There's loads of activists in this chat. Please ask.
Yeah, and we've got
away.
ex-slaughterhouse workers in this chat as well. Steve, I think we should show the animals who just gone in so people can see who've missed.
Let's swap over because you got that on there.
Okay, yeah. I really love it when you speak to open-minded people like yourself who are like, yeah, I just didn't think of it. And yeah, they don't want you to think of it because they just want your money. But we're just here trying to defend the victims.
Oh, for context.
We used to pay for this as well.
The smell here, guys, is so bad.
Okay, so this is one of the trucks.
Oh
my gosh, it stinks. It stinks so bad.
Oh.
So it's on slow-mo. That's how we capture all the animals on slow-mo here. So yeah, here you guys, coming up to the truck now.
Look at these babies. Look at these babies, these brown babies at the bottom, looking up, and then the black and white mothers on the side. Their little noses. Look at their little noses looking up. Look at their little noses looking up. Just hopeful.
So on your right is the beef industry. So beef cows are born into that industry and they're then killed around 18 months old. On the left, they're the mother cows from the dairy industry. So they have pregnancy forced upon them over and over and over. Babies taken away and killed.
Okay, we'll swap back over. You go, you could do that.
Yeah,
I'll ask you some questions.
When we're explaining what we're explaining, I want to just make a point of saying everything we are telling you is standard, the best of the best. That's what we're explaining. It's a standard practice. Local, small, free-range, organic, they all go to a slaughterhouse. 88% of pigs are gassed in the UK. It's absolutely awful. Male chicks are blended up alive in the egg industry. The majority of egg-laying hens go to a gas chamber. We have rescue hens at home who we rescued before they were going to go to those awful places. And they have such personalities. They are so funny, so sweet, and we absolutely adore them. Now, if you ever rescue chickens, something you probably don't know about chickens in the egg industry is that they have actually been selectively bred to lay around 300 eggs a year. 300. Naturally, they would only lay around 12. It would be one a month. That's 300. So if you ever rescue chickens, if they lay eggs, make sure you smash those eggs on the floor. They will really need to eat those eggs for their lack of nutrients that their body has been depleted of due to the selective breeding. It is awful. They go to a gas chamber at 18 months old. 18 months.
Listen, there's a lot of people trying to justify exploiting these baby animals with plants feel pain and crop deaths. Do you want to do a plants feel pain and crop deaths debunk just to finish that up? We can just do a quick roundup. Just do it short and sweet.
So first of all, I think anyone who's saying plants feel pain has completely missed the point. I think you're being disingenuous. I think you're lying and you're not being honest. Because obviously, plants don't feel pain. They don't have a brain and a central nervous system. It's kind of embarrassing how many times I have to explain this to people. Now, on the plants feel pain thing, plants don't feel pain, but yes, there are crop deaths from plants. Now, maybe that's something you're not thinking about. The whole thing with being vegan is that we don't see animals as a use and a commodity. We don't use animals. Now, we need to eat plants to survive, or we have civilization collapse. Like, no one will live without plants. Now, yes, there are incidental crop deaths that happen to those animals, but there is a way of farming plants where no one gets hurt, like vertical farming. But there is no way to breed these animals into existence, forcibly breed them, take their babies and take their life away from them in an ethical way. There's no way to do that. It's purely, look, no one ever says plants feel pain when you're trying to defend humans.
Yeah.
When there's a war going on, you haven't got people in the comments section going, oh, but plants feel pain.
You know what? It's also like driving down the road and a dog running out in front of your car and you accidentally hitting that dog, or driving down the road and then mounting the pavement and driving directly at that dog to kill that dog, to eat that dog, to exploit that dog. Plus, if you want to look at basic maths, there are 80 to 90 billion land animals brought into existence every single year. They are fed crops. Them crops need to be grown. If you didn't force 80 to 90 billion land animals into existence, the crops for them would never need to be grown. Therefore, your crop deaths would be reduced tremendously. And we only have 8 to 9 billion people, which could be fed easily, minimizing that all the way down until we have organic farming systems. So don't use a weak excuse like the plants feel pain and mowing the lawn is mass murder, when there are actual real victims stood behind Mel right now who I can smell the insides of their bodies. Babies are in there dying next to their parents, in my opinion. There's a potential.
Yeah, well, yeah, because a lot of the dairy cows go in pregnant.
Exactly
that. They have their babies cut out of them whilst they're inside these places. It's hell. We've been on these places. We've been inside farms ourselves, and we've seen it for our own eyes. We've seen chickens in the meat industry called broiler chickens who can't reach the water or food because they've also been selectively bred to grow really large in such a short space of time. They kill those chickens at 42 days. They're little babies. They're little babies. Go on our other channel, our Mel and Steve channel. You'll see all of our videos. We have one coming out this month as well. And we've witnessed mother cows, literal so many horrific things. My mind is going like flashing with all the stuff that I've seen that rips my heart out. Dead bins. We've been on dairy farms where there's been 200 hutches, isolation hutches, where they have babies, the baby cows in. The mothers are behind, a bit further behind, crying for their babies who have been taken away. It's sickening.
These kind of comments really frustrate me, because someone's just put a comment, there isn't enough land to grow all the plant crops to feed the humans. Your statement, that comment that you put, is a complete anecdote. It's just something that you've picked out of thin air that actually holds no weight, and there is no evidence for it, because the actual statistics and the actual facts are, if you took 100% of the land used for farming, 74% of that number is used for farming animals. If we didn't breed 80 to 90 billions into existence, we wouldn't therefore need 74% of that total number to farm them. We would be able to free up 74% of the land totally used by animal farming to feed the people. Now, if we feed 80 to 90 billion land animals, who are about 10 times bigger than the average human, we could easily grow enough crops to feed the humans. But you throw out these random silly statements and then try and justify stealing babies, stealing breast milk, gassing animals to death and stabbing them in the neck. What an absolute joke. I hope you're embarrassed with this statement that you put on that chat just then.
Yeah, you're just, I don't know how you can be so confidently wrong. Instead of being wrong and not knowing, because we know our stuff, we know that you don't understand. It's okay if you don't understand. Just ask the question, but don't come on lying, because what happens is that when good people come on, you're then propagating lies to those people, and you don't know a thing. Guys, let's see who's in the chat again. Number 1 for vegans, the legend that you are as a vegan, number 1. Number 2, for anyone who's open-minded, who cares about animals but just doesn't understand the industry. And number 3, if you love stabbing animals. Let's see who's in the room.
We got canines though.
Yeah, no. This isn't about anything to do like that. We should not see animals as a use and a commodity for us. The animal that has the biggest canines is a hippo, and they're herbivores. But it doesn't matter. The science proves that we can live on a plant-based diet. Now, this isn't a diet. This isn't about a diet. It relates to the diet, but veganism is an ethical stance. It's just someone who doesn't oppress animals. So I choose to not go to a zoo because I'm against animals being taken away from their families in the wild and being forced in a prison cell in a zoo on their own where they go mental over years and years and years. I'm against the bear bile industry where they take bile from these bears that are trapped in these cages for 20 plus years for medicine. Who do we think we are to entrap these animals and take what's not even ours because we're making our own species ill by consuming meat, eggs, dairy, fish? Like, we're making a problem, and then we're having a victim who is innocent and using their skin, their bodily fluid, and wiping it on your face or using it in medicines. No. So yeah, it relates to your diet, but it's an ethical stance. Don't go horse racing. I don't agree with sitting on somebody else in a race who's not consenting, who gets whipped, who gets broken into, gets shot. What is it? One horse dies every 2 days in the UK.
So yeah, some crazy stats.
One dog dies every 3 days in the UK for greyhound racing.
2024 stats, yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Lisa, why, when we're here, do they run the gate manually? Like, why don't the industry want people to see what we're doing here? Why won't they let us film the animals, basically?
Yeah, it's a good question. I know that guy's, he said he's vegan.
That guy's vegan.
Yeah, so basically, when we arrive, they hate anyone seeing anything. They basically pride themselves on transparency, but when you get here, they want to hide everything. So they have these big gates. This gate's on an automated system, usually. When activists arrive, they take the automated gate system off. They put a security guy there who then runs the gate in and out. By doing this, when the gate's on the automated, like normal, the truck arrives and they stop here for maybe a couple minutes. And then we have a chance to film the animals. Now, when we arrive, they don't want us to film the animals. So they then get this guy to run the gate up and down because it's faster. He can see down the road when a truck's coming. He opens the gate. But this just shows how they don't even want us to film the animals, let alone what's happening on the inside. And in fact, in this place, there's been breaches happening. There's been major breaches happening. Not stunning animals correctly, misuse of equipment, hygiene. It's awful. And that's the FSA that's done a report on that, and they never report. We see the FSA on investigations who stands there and do nothing. So for it to be documented must have been so bad.
Divad B8Y saying, not engaging with the viewers hurts your stance. What questions do you have, Divad? If you have a genuine question, I can read it out and we'll get Mel to answer it. We're not engaging with you. We're also defending the animals and letting people who do have kindness and compassion in their heart hear what we have to say, see what we have to show you. The reason why we're here is to educate and enlighten non-vegans with the mediums that we saw so that you can make an educated decision.
Yeah, because most people are actually good. They just don't know. They don't understand. When people hear the word vegan, it's kind of like worldwide known that people just will mock. But they always mock what they don't know. People always mock what they're scared of.
Divad said, we're not educating people, you're just speaking. That's how you educate people.
How do you think a teacher does that in school?
That is literally how you educate people. Okay, Divad, you've just literally earned yourself like the ridiculous badge, so go and sit in the corner. We'll ignore your comments because you're pointless. Absolute waste of time. We're here to expose this industry to people who do have compassion in their hearts, who do have empathy in their hearts. You are obviously not one of them. You fall into the small percentage of people who don't care.
Yeah, and likely from the industry. So anyone on here who is just a member of the public, we actually have paid spies on our channels from these industries who watch our channels, who try and figure out where we're going to be and stuff. Stand here? Yeah. So we get a lot of people who are paid by the industry to come onto our channel to make up lies. Now, those people are obviously after just money. We're out here trying to just defend the animals because we owe the animals, because we used to pay for it as well. We weren't always vegan. Like I was saying previously, I've been to zoos, I've stroked tigers, I've played with lion cubs, I've swum with dolphins. I've done all this stuff that I loved as a child because I loved animals. I was always so passionate about animals. I loved watching them. I loved being around them. My dog was my best friend. I loved animals more than humans my entire life. Now, because my parents obviously had the conditioning, they were feeding me and doing things that was just the norm. But I then saw the reality. And now, like I said, because I love animals, I'm against those things. But I just know now. I didn't know better when I was younger. I didn't understand, because where I had a pure love for animals, it wasn't in my brain cell or my body to ever think anyone could be horrible to animals or like forcibly breed them. Who could hurt a defenseless animal? Those turkeys on the investigation done by Joey Carbstrong at Kelly Bronze, go and check out that. They picked up those turkeys, swung them round by their heads. Now, what can those turkeys do? They can't defend themselves. They're the most vulnerable, and in my opinion, these industries are just bullying industries. You're bullying the most vulnerable.
Wow. Some of these comments are really bad. People's mindset saying
Sad,
animals
isn't it?
are for our benefit on this earth.
Wow.
Do you hate humans? Turkeys are meant to be food. She doesn't know what real struggle is. Guys,
Wow.
I just said it a minute ago and someone laughed because I said about you being the small percentage. When I say you are in the small percentage of people, if you are anti-vegan, I understand that the majority of people may not be vegan, but it's only because they haven't seen what we've seen or been educated on what we've been educated. When someone who is kind, who does have compassion, and does have the ability to critically think, sees the injustice and the exploitation that these animals face, they simply remove themselves immediately and become vegan. Now, the smallest percent of people will be anti-vegan and try and defend this violence and exploitation to the animals. And that is the smallest of the small percent, as in there's a small percent of people that think it's okay to shoot and stab other people. There's a small percent of people that think it's okay to be racist.
Yeah.
You fall into that small percent of people that think it's okay to be exploitative, commodify, and execute animals. When the majority of people see the message and understand why we're fighting for the animals and giving the animals rights, you'll be highlighted as the small percent. When you go somewhere and you are highlighted as the person who thinks that animal exploitation is okay, you'll stand out as the odd one out. You're not the majority, trust me.
It's a lack of empathy. It's actually what you have is apathy, which is actually a sign of a psychopath. The lack of empathy is a sign of a psychopath, because when I see what happens to animals and the oppression that happens towards them, I'm against it because I wouldn't want that happening to me. I put myself in their position and I feel how I would feel if I was in that position. Now, I've never been in that position. I'm very lucky. I can only put myself in that position to a point. Those animals would be so afraid. You have no idea. You only know a tiny amount. Now, I've seen what happens in these places. Every single animal gets stabbed in the throat. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Now, would you want to be stabbed in the throat? If someone came at you with a knife, would you want to be stabbed in the throat? Would you want to be loaded up into a truck around others who you don't know, taken somewhere and forced into a gas chamber? No, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen to you, and it shouldn't happen to the animals. We are animals. We're just a different species. Like, when people say, like, oh, they're only animals or they're put on the earth for us, it's a load of crap. It's not true. How is that true? How is this meant to happen? If we were supposed to do this to animals, why the hell have they got to do this so secretly? Why is this not on TV everywhere? Why aren't kids going in there doing it? Why aren't children in there with knives?
Why is this hidden from children?
Yeah.
Why do you have to lie? Why do you have to take chickens and then put them in the shape of nuggets? Why do you have to take pigs and put them in the shape of sausages? Why do you have to take cows and put them in the shape of burgers? Why don't children run into farms just ripping chickens' heads off and start eating them? Because children actually are against this. If children knew what adults done to animals, children would be so fearful of adults.
Yeah.
If children knew what their parents done to animals, they would look at their parents in a whole different light. If you were a parent, sit with that for a minute.
Yeah.
Sit with that. Imagine if your child saw the exploitation and the murder that you paid for knowingly. Maybe you don't know about it right now, but
Yeah.
now you do. If you're on this live stream, you now know. You now know. You no longer can say, I'm ignorant to that exploitation. I didn't know. You now know.
Yeah.
Imagine what your child would say if they saw you willingly paying for this to happen to these
Yeah,
animals.
because if the child saw you pay someone with a knife to stab an animal, that child would be scarred for life, right? And that's how close the connection is. It's like you pay for animal products, you're paying them to kill the animals. It's really close. Even when we're at slaughterhouses, you're like, flipping hell, it's so close. We see the animals go in, like those chickens, we see them go into gas chambers at 42 days old. We then see the trucks from like Tesco's or other supermarket. We see those boxes that you see in the shop. Their body parts get loaded up onto there at the slaughterhouse and get taken straight there. It's so close, but for some reason you don't make the connection. Like you're eating somebody's flesh, someone's secretions that have come up their body, something that's come out of someone's bum. You're eating someone's skin, using someone's feathers. Like a victim who's been killed and murdered, you're using their feathers as your pillow. You're laying on that at night. Like, even your shoes. Like the leather industry, people think the leather industry is a byproduct, but it's not. It's an industry in itself. It's an industry in itself.
No one ever considers that their shoes and jackets
It's
screamed for their life on a slaughterhouse floor.
Yeah.
No one ever considered that their clothing was ripped off of the back of someone else who was alive,
Yeah.
who actually needed that more than they did for their fashion item, you know?
I remember when we first went vegan, we had a car with leather seats, and I didn't want to sit on it.
We had to get rid of that,
Yeah,
didn't
we sold it and got rid of it and was like, nah, because I didn't want to sit on someone else's skin. I like, once you see it, you have this like one-way system, like this block, like, nah, that's someone's like, yeah, like, and I threw all my shoes away and everything.
Someone here said factory farming is wrong, but eating meat is not.
Okay, I can tell you're very confused, but this is because the industry, again, have lied to you to make you feel better about paying for such violence. There is no difference. And in fact, there was actually a study done in Germany where small local farms actually probably cause suffering in different ways due to someone having to come out to feed and put the water there. If they can't be bothered one day, then they won't do it. The animals don't get fed and watered and stuff. We've seen it on that free-range pig farm we went to. There was no food and water anywhere. Nowhere. But also, I just want to let you know as well, we're not here for welfare. The moment you see animals as a commodity and a use for you, they're inside here. Factory farm trucks go inside here. One cow in a small holding truck goes inside here. Check out Joey Carstrong's Cathedral City investigation on that farm. Check it out. Look at the halal slaughterhouse he investigated. He puts cameras up in these places and shows the world. There is nothing nice in there. It's not a fairy tale. It's not like a glamorous, lovely thing that happens in a slaughterhouse. It's knives, stabs in the throat, death, mutilation, skin ripped off of them alive, pregnant mothers having their babies ripped out of them. It's hell. It is absolute hell. There is no right way to do this to animals. Whether that's wearing them on your feet, using them in your makeup, testing on them, using them for bullfighting, whipping them on horse racing, using them for greyhound racing, it all needs to stop, because we wouldn't want that happening to us. Now, they feel pain. They suffer. They have a central nervous system, just like you do. Just give them the basic right to their life. Freedom. It's the basic. Like, it's not like a big thing to be vegan. It's the baseline. Kids are born vegan, because vegan is someone who just doesn't pay the industries to hurt animals on behalf of them. Everyone is born vegan because you're against it. You don't naturally like it. The world just conditions you to pay for this brutality, to pay for what happens to animals. They indoctrinate you, they brainwash you with storybooks, music, radio, adverts. They constantly are pushing it down your throat to eat animals, use animals, go to zoos all the time. I can't get in the car without hearing an advert. I can't walk down the road without hearing an advert. So when people are saying vegans push this down your throat, no, it's them. They spend billions of pounds. We're out here, members of the public. We just saw something we didn't know. We stopped paying for it as the baseline, and then we now just help the animals. We're not against you. We're actually just like your friends, just trying to tell you something that we've seen that you haven't seen yet. Here you go, Steve. Do you want to switch for a bit?
Cool. So take that,
Stinks.
just in case we get a truck turning up.
Maybe we'll let people know where we are again.
Yeah, good idea. Anyone turning up into this live stream right now, we're outside of a slaughterhouse. How's my position? Should I be more like here? This all right?
Oh yeah, it was really zoomed in.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, you're smaller than I am, so I made sure to do that
Yeah.
at the same time. Guys, this is a slaughterhouse.
Renee.
We're outside here in the UK. As you're coming into this room, press 1 if you're vegan, but 2 if you are not vegan but you're open to the conversation, and 3 if you are anti-vegan, if you don't believe that animals deserve moral consideration. Let's just see who we got in the room. Any 1s, 2s, or 3s?
Someone just put fish don't have feelings.
Why do you say that? What would make you say that? The only reason why someone would say fish don't have feelings is if they've been conditioned to say that or indoctrinated to believe that. Because the reality is that fish do have feelings. Fish have central nervous systems. Fish actually have peripheral nerves on the outside, some fish do. If you don't know what peripheral nerves are, peripheral nerves are like touch-sensitive nerves. It helps fish to determine water pressures, things like that.
And we got Nick here who said, even though I'm not vegan, the cruelty towards animals is effed up.
Yeah, well, Nick, thank you for your comment. And listen, I want to make a point. I don't know how long you've been in the room. We're here to not clash with non-vegans or judge non-vegans. We weren't born vegan. And I would have been in the same position as you a few years back, right? I would have said something similar.
Yeah.
I'm not vegan, but I don't like what happens to animals. And if I think about it, it makes me feel sad, I'm uncomfortable. And we're actually conditioned to not critically think about it. We're conditioned to consistently like turn a blind eye. And if you start to feel emotional, distract yourself. And there's a reason. The marketing behind this industry, the smoke, the mirrors, the lies, the humane washing, is there to keep people like you in the position you're in, where you feel bad about the suffering for animals, but you believe in the humane slaughter lie, you believe in the RSPCA assured logos, you believe in the British farming standards, or whatever the nonsense may be. But the reality is, if you are someone that says cruelty to animals is fucked up, then the baseline for you is to be vegan. Because I'll put it to you that there is no right way to do the wrong thing. You cannot humanely kill someone who doesn't want to die.
Yeah, and maybe, and where can they watch the realities?
If you want to see the reality, if you are that person and today is your day to come across this message, click on the 3 dots in the top right-hand side of this live stream, click in the description, and in that description is a Linktree link. On that Linktree link, you have Dominion, you have Pignorant, you have Joey Carbstrong's exposés. You can go to our main channel and you can see our investigations. This truck had babies on there today. They now leave like empty. He gets to go home. But the babies who were brought in on that truck, they were earlier on in the live stream. You can scroll back and see them. They look very young.
Oh, someone's just sent us a PayPal. We've been support on PayPal.
Oh,
that's so kind. Thank
kind.
you to who's done that. We'll message you later.
Thank you very, very much. The support is great.
Oh.
It goes so far. We're so grateful for it. We wouldn't be able to do this without that support. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, please go into that description and watch one of them documentaries. I would recommend Dominion or I'd recommend Pignorant.
Yeah. Oh, they're very powerful. Pignorant will really show you how corrupt the industry is, including the RSPCA and standard farming practices. He also goes to Norfolk Free Range, which is an award-winning farm. You'll see what they do to that pig.
Yeah.
That pig has stayed with me forever. They all do.
It's horrific.
When we went to that free range pig farm, kind of stuff we saw, what did we see? Like pigs coughing. They were so scared. Cuts all over them.
Nose rings.
Yeah, nose rings.
Nose rings in the pigs. Basically, the nose rings are in the pigs because it stops them from digging out of their pens.
Yeah.
But the thing is, It's a natural behavior for a pig to burrow and dig with their nose. So they're stripped of any natural behavioral instincts and not allowed to. This is why I would say, in my opinion, any industry that exploits animals is the slave trade. How could it not be?
I agree.
Let's just say you take a sentient being, an individual with the desire to live and the ability to suffer and feel pain. You give them a number, not a name. You confine their space where they live. You dictate the times that they eat, the time that they drink, the time that they sleep. You dictate when they stand, when they walk, when they serve you. You dictate everything that they do, their move. You dictate their free time. You dictate absolutely everything in that individual's life. And then when that individual can no longer provide you with what you, the slave owner, wants, you send them to a place like this and you stab them to death, and then you chop their body parts up and you make your final bit of profit from their lifeless body parts. To me, that is nothing less than slavery. If you're against what I'm saying or what you're listening to, the baseline is to be vegan.
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly turn this around. There's a comment from the vegan trucker who's just put, veganism is the only thing that exposes the best and worst of humanity. I wanted to finish on this because it's so true. You see the worst of what happens in this world when you see dominion and what happens to the animals in these industry. But you also do see the best of people when people change and they dedicate their lives fighting for the animals. So I really resonate with your comment there. I'm constantly like that, feeling like that. 1 minute it's like, I can't believe you're doing it. And next minute I'm like, wow, that person's amazing. Powerful comment.
Guys, thank you so much for being in this live stream with us today. We have to go, but we will be live more this week. Make sure you've subscribed, hit the notification bell. To all the vegans who have defended the animals so well in this chat, we love you all so much. Thank you from the animals for being in there, defending them. To all the people who were in the chat room ready for when we went live to help push the algorithm, look what you've achieved. Over 200 people have been in this chat room because you were in that room to begin with, and you pushed the algorithm, you got it going. We defend the animals with every ounce of energy we have.
The power of teamwork, we're all a team. Like, I've seen so many names that constantly in everyone's lives. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe, watch Dominion on YouTube, message us if you need any help with going vegan, and we'll see you on the next live, guys.
See you guys.